welcome to another episode of Stay Paid, where we are answering your burning questions in real estate, business, marketing, and more. On these episodes, we take live calls from listeners of Stay Paid. If you want to have your question answered live here on the show, go to remindermedia.com/ask and submit your question there. Or, of course, you can follow us on Instagram at Stay Paid Podcast. Shoot us a message. We'll schedule a time to have you come on the show. My name is Josh Dyke, Chief Marketing Officer at Reminder Media, joined as always by Luke Acree, President of Reminder Media. Missing today, you know, the Acree team.
Yeah, they're at the Tom Ferry conference. The summit. What do they call it? The Super Bowl of real estate conferences. But we will do our best to bring you the in-the-trench knowledge, because obviously Josh and I run Reminder Media, the marketing company, but we also are deeply involved in Acree Brothers Real Estate.
Absolutely. Joining us first here on the show, Rick from Georgia. Rick, welcome to Stay Paid.
Hey there. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Rick, man, welcome to the show,
All right,
brother.
Loving the background.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for HomeSmart because we have a great partnership with you guys. So love you guys. I think I'm speaking at you guys' conference coming up in October.
Yes,
so I'm excited about that. But
in October.
So Rick, would love to hear kind of your question, or I always frame it to people, hey, where is the pain point for you, the lever of growth that you're trying to figure out and attack that will take you and your business to the next level? Because I'd love to have a discussion around that and see what we can do to help you out from our perspective.
Great. Yeah. Well, our model is a transaction model, we call it. So we're a full serve brokerage. We just don't do splits.
Okay.
It's real basic. It's a $500 transaction fee, and the agent keeps the rest. Obviously, there's other models that are out there these days that are similar to our transaction model. So, and they're just, frankly, there's a lot of competition.
What do you call it? It's flattery, right? The sincerest form of flattery is people copying you.
Yes.
So we've had some people copy our marketing before, and it does irritate
Usually,
you.
Sometimes word for word.
Yeah, word for word. They rip your marketing off and everything, but it motivates you. I'm sure it motivates you as well, all the competition. But what's the struggle, or what's the thing you need to do to grow your brokerage?
Well, I mean, I guess the basic struggle is always, just trying to get connected with agents, right?
Okay.
So we've got all sorts of metrics on production, and we sort of target agents that are, maybe doing 5 to 15 transactions a year,
Okay.
just to give us something to target. The challenge is just, will they pick up the phone, which in a way kind of amazes me, because if they're agents, you got to pick the phone up because they don't know if I'm calling or if they got a prospective buyer. But anyway, but past picking up the phone, it's more making the case, if you will, for our model, and to let them know this is not just about, hey, you're not going to pay us much, but you're also going to not get any or any support from us. We're totally a full service brokerage. I'm a hands-on broker.
Okay.
So it's part of it is just me getting the message across to them in sort of short order to catch their attention and hopefully have an ongoing conversation.
Okay, love it. Great question. So it really centers around recruiting and then a unique value proposition or unique selling proposition, and how to deliver that from a marketing standpoint or from a sales standpoint. Give me a little perspective, Rick. How big is your, do you have multiple offices? Is it one office? Like, how big is your team?
Yeah, actually, I have 2 HomeSmart franchises. One
Awesome.
is in Atlanta area where I live, and also in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Here in Atlanta, we've got about 160 agents that are with us now.
Awesome.
And in Florida, we've got about 60 agents. So those are the 2 offices we have. We don't have any remote offices here in the metro Atlanta area. We're kind of in the center. We're just in the northern suburbs of Atlanta. So it's kind of like a clock, and we've got agents at, all around the clock.
Okay.
So we do have one office. And quite honestly, nowadays with offices, as you probably know, agents don't go to the office anymore, right? So, we, obviously got to keep our expenses down on the office front.
Yep, correct.
But that's our layout.
Okay, that helps give some perspective. I'll give you my thoughts from, how we have faced recruiting, not only at Reminder Media, but, with Acree Brothers and stuff like that. Is a big awakening for us was the concept of, hey, we do all this work to market and build sales funnels and what would be called drip campaigns for our actual customers. So for you, it would be the actual consumer that you're helping buy and sell real estate, right? And we do all this effort and spend all this time in doing it. But we at Reminder Media, we recruit actually like 15 salespeople a month right now. for our sales team at Reminder Media, give people a perspective. That's what we're hiring. We're hiring the SDR on the phone role where they're booking appointments, and then also what we call account executives, so closers that do the presentations. And so we're trying to recruit 15. Well, we realized really quickly, wow, the same effort we put into creating funnels for our actual attraction of customers, we need to put in for our attraction of candidates. And my first kind of question and thought for you would be, do you actually have a marketing funnel and sales funnel built out for recruiting agents? Or are you relying just on basic outreach and referrals? Because that's where I have, when I've gone into businesses or worked with teams, it's like, hey, you need a funnel. Like, you need to actually have a drip, and you need to have a landing page that attracts people in a process in which you do the outreach. And it starts with the one thing you already have, which is your list. So you have your ideal target audience that's being given to you. You said you target agents that are closing 5 to 15 deals a year. Awesome. So now what is the funnel or drip that you're trying to put them through consistently to get them to want to talk to you? And that's really where it starts, is what is my outreach campaign that I'm building a funnel for? Does that make sense? Do you have anything like that?
No, it makes absolute sense. And no, we don't have a funnel as we know it today.
Okay.
We have a traditional funnel where we've got their information, we do follow up with them. But actually, it made me think of something as you were asking that question. And that is, I'm not like an expert in social media and
Sure.
all that stuff. We got Facebook pages, all that, but I'm not a pro at it. Okay. So I guess does Reminder Media actually offer funnel development, if you will, for say a brokerage like mine? I don't know. Do you?
Maybe we should. We don't right now.
Yeah,
no.
you're giving me a lot of ideas.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now,
This is
I'm
maybe
like,
a
wait
new
minute.
product we have to develop, but it is a big pain point, I think, in the industry of, like, I don't think
Totally.
broker owners are developing. They're so focused on helping the real estate agent, which they should develop their funnels. Like, how do you attract an expired listing or a FSBO, or how do you convert a Facebook lead? But you need to apply that same effort and methodology into, how do I recruit agents? Both new agents and veteran agents and so forth into my team. Where I would start if I'm you is, you already have the first thing, which is your ideal target. So that you've already defined, which is fantastic. A lot of people don't even have that. So you've done that. But for the audience listening, I would tell them, hey, if you don't have what Rick has, which he already knows who he's going after, he has that list. It's agents that are producing 5 to 15 deals a year. That's who he wants to go after in his zone and in his market. Perfect. Now we have to decide, what is the value prop in the messaging that we want to serve up in front of them? Any ideas on how to help Rick determine, like, his value prop or his messaging?
Well, I would say, like, why would someone choose to move to HomeSmart? What's your main message there?
Obviously the money that they save, and, no commission splits. Okay. But I always emphasize that we're full service. Okay. I'm a hands-on broker. I know all of my agents. I interact with them daily. So that's very important, I believe, for the agents, and certainly for me with my model. It's not just about, you're not going to spend, we're not taking all your money. We're still giving you full service, training, hands-on coaching,
Yeah.
paperwork management.
So the most powerful thing for that would be storytelling, right? So, like, look at what your agent between 5 and 15 transactions, look at what kind of money they would make, look at what money they would save from working with HomeSmart, because you're providing all these services. Compare that to the brokers that you're targeting, right? And so then tell, whether it's a success story, proof always sells. So whether it's a success
Proof
story
over promise, as they say,
on your team that has gone through that, or do a direct comparison. Hey, with HomeSmart, here's what you'll make in commissions. Here's what you'll save on those resources versus whatever those other brokers that you're targeting, and their business models. So just compare apples to apples and put that in front of your list through the lens of telling that story through other people's success.
And Rick, you don't even have to do a lot of the work, man. You just go to ChatGPT and literally type in, here's my ideal agent that I'm trying to recruit. Here's my value proposition that HomeSmart brings to the table. Have it do research, because it could go out there and find all the other brokerages models, right? I'm sure. But then go, can you craft for me 3 different stories of how I can share the HomeSmart value prop comparatively against these other brokerages, and it will spit it out. And then the great thing about, AI is it's interactive. So if you don't like what it did, just have, hey, I like this, but can you tweak this? And it will just tweak it right there in the spot, because that's the messaging. Because Josh is spot on. It's like, you don't want to sell the feature. You want to sell the solution to the pain that you're solving. So you have to talk to the audience through the lens of the pain. Are you tired of, only making X amount when you put in all the work to service your client? Like, you're speaking to the pain of where that agent is at. Are you tired of having, being part of a brokerage, but you don't really get any support and when you need them? Are you tired of paying these fees that for technology or whatever? I'm just making this up as I go, but I know this from other brokerages. Are you tired of paying your brokerage a technology fee, but you use none of their technology? Come to HomeSmart because of XYZ.
And then after you've done that and you've kind of established and painted this picture of what their life could be, show them how easy it is to move, right? Actually walk through.
Oh, great point.
Then you're kind of working them through this process of, oh, this is really interesting. Now and in order to move over, here's going to be the process and how easy it'll be, so that they're not overwhelmed by the whole, you talk about cost of conversion. Anytime you switch software, you've got to move all your systems, got to move all your things, all your contacts and everything. What does that cost of conversion look like to them?
Yep. So let's keep following down this journey for everybody listening, and for you, Rick. Like, so what I would do if I came in, I was trying to build out a funnel for you. You've told me the audience. I would spend time with ChatGPT to develop the way to post it and email it, because now I have to determine my marketing plan to get that message in front of that audience.
You're just trying to get hand raisers.
Right, exactly. And we're all limited to the same amount of things. So at a high level, there's like 6 avenues of marketing that you can choose. So one is social media. All right. So I'm going to make sure I have a way to be posting on social media that potential target audience could see it. And with social, you have both paid, where I'm paying for ads to go out to this area. And the other is organic. I'm just posting and I'm trying to friend these other agents so they see my post and stuff like that. So you have social that you could get in front of people with. You have email that you could get in front of people with. Do you have your list email addresses? Do you have their emails?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
Beautiful. Right. And so you have phone calls and text messages. So you could do phone calls, text messages. You have what I call is face-to-face, which is a client event. Mastermind. If you want to know how real brokerage is attracting so many agents, I just know this because I have so many friends that invite me to speak at these events and stuff like that. They are doing these masterminds locally, inviting 50 to 80 agents, and they don't sell real brokerage at all at the mastermind. They'll bring in a Luke Acree, a marketing expert, to give a talk, but they then are getting that brand association that goes, wow, Rick is giving me so much value and he's not pushing HomeSmart on me at all. But you're the person that is now elevating their mind as value. So I don't know if you already do it, but if I'm you, I would think about doing a local mastermind where your offices are at, and bring in some outside speakers and do it once a quarter, and make it free or pretty cost effective for people to come. Make it brand agnostic, where it's not about HomeSmart. It's just about value and building a community of local agents that support each other. And from there, like, that's just another medium. So if you think about it, man, you're posting on social. Okay, some things might happen, some might not, but you're consistently out there that way.
In front of people, yeah, at that point.
You got the email drip going. You got a phone call happening once a quarter, and then if anybody engages, you have a at least 6 touches for them happening over, a week and a half. Then you have a mastermind happening once a quarter. And all of a sudden, what you will find is that your brand is out there. People are going to start knowing who Rick is, especially if you approach it from the standpoint of, all right, ChatGPT, this is my value prop that I'm trying to do. How can I educate people in a soft way, but that leads to this value prop? So, educate people on what's happening and changing in the industry. And these are things, because you're successful. I mean, you literally recruited 160 agents at one place and 60 at another. Like, you're already doing great, but it's just, you probably haven't put enough time in. What you're challenging your agents to do for their business, you must do for your recruiting business. It's a business in and of itself. And until Reminder Media started doing that, Like now we get, what do you think we get? 7,000 applicants a month now?
I was going to say 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's thousands applying to work at Reminder Media for our sales position. But how do we do that? We're just applying marketing. Like we're trying to obviously sell HomeSmart agents, Rick, you know this. We're marketing to the agents to sign up for our service, but we got to market to the candidates to come in, you know, to work for Reminder Media. And then you get like everything. It's a flywheel effect. And before you know it, you're going to have to do less and less marketing. You know why? Because everybody knows Rick, everybody likes Rick, everybody trusts Rick, and you're just going to get referrals.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that idea. The idea about doing the mastermind, because we currently have a learning center that holds about 30 people, and we do CE classes here and we invite all brokerages,
Yep.
and we fill it up for every class.
Yep.
But I hadn't thought about doing a mastermind session.
Mastermind and bring in some top agents to speak that are brand agnostic. It's all about the community of agents, because that's what will play. Because not every agent's going to be a fit for HomeSmart, just like not every agent's going to be a fit for Real or EXP or Keller Williams or whatever. But you will attract your tribe. And if you lead with that value, but it's just, I just feel like whatever you've done to help your agents succeed, which you seem to be doing that well, apply that to your recruiting funnel, and that will change the game for you.
Great. Love it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Awesome. Rick, man, you're amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Hope this was helpful. I want to follow up with you and talk with you offline though, because, you know, HomeSmart's near and dear to my heart because of our partnership. And so I would love to see if I can help you guys more. Maybe we can connect up at conference. Because I think it's, I'm speaking at you guys' summit. Well, I know I'm speaking there. It's just, I don't know what days it is. I want to say October, but so.
Yeah, it's October, mid-October.
Awesome. Love it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Take care.
That was great. Yeah. I love that because there is such a big pain point in the industry for recruiting agents, and nobody is thinking about it in terms of like the funnel, but yet they're teaching their agents all day long. You got to build a prospecting funnel. You got to prospect every single day. And it's like, hey, apply that same knowledge that you have to your actual recruiting efforts.
Absolutely. All right. You can go to remindermedia.com/ask to get your questions answered there. All right. I want to go real quick to one of the questions that was written in. So I don't think that we were able to get this person on the show, but they did write this question. And Kimberly asks, when I ask you, Luke, what your thoughts are. Best suggestions for a seasoned agent who finds themselves in a slump. Been doing it for a while, maybe had some success early on, finds themselves in a bit of a slump. Where do they go?
Yes. So one, I would tell you, you are not alone. It is very normal. Sometimes when I've been in a slump, it's good for me to hear, okay, I'm not the only one. Or a lot of times when I go to a conference after I'm in a slump, it's a conference motivates me, which is a key point I would throw out there. But the reason why is because you get to meet other people and hear their stories and hear that they've gone through the exact same things you've gone through. And that's an encouragement. So, you know, you said, who is it? Kimberly?
Kimberly. Yeah.
Kimberly, you know, if you're in a slump, you're not alone.
Conferences are a great way to get your motivation up.
And the reason why is because it's environment.
They're not like the best things for I don't want to say like tactical.
Yeah,
like
practicality.
The best practical things. But man, you come back from a conference and you are like on fire.
Yep, 100%. And that's actually where I would start. Is I would go, hey, look, if you're in a slump, Kimberly, you got to think about your environment. The famous saying is, you can plant a flower in the desert and it dies. You can plant that same flower in good soil and it blossoms. And a lot of times when we find ourselves in a slump, it's because we're in a negative state of mind. And we need to get ourselves out of that environment. And that can be a multitude of different things. That can be going to a conference. It can be getting around other producers locally. Reading? What are you reading? Yep. It's like changing your state of mind is so critical. Also doing a reflection point of almost an audit of where you're at in your life, which could be depressing depending on where you're at, but also then revitalizing, what do you want the future to look like? What do you want 5-year Kimberly to be?
Oh, yeah, Bill Pipes, we had on the show, talked about $1 million or $billion Bill.
$1 billion Bill or something like that. Yeah.
What would $1 billion Bill do?
Exactly. Because there is power, and you can push it aside, as a lot of people do, but there is power in visualization. And most of the time, we as professionals, we don't take the time to sit there and actually reflect and meditate and deal with our thoughts and then put down on paper. It's like, no, who do I really want to be? And what's my definition of success? Because a lot of times we get into slumps because we're defining success in a way that we don't actually think is success. But the world has told us that's success. And so we have the wrong definition and we'll never be happy in that. And so it's so critical that you come back and go, okay, where am I at? Who do I want to be in 5 years? And what does my definition of success look like? And then go, what would I need to do in order to be that person? How would that person act? What would that person read? Who would that person hang around? What would that person do in their business? And then now that starts to help you develop a plan. And all of this, you should then go and go, okay, now I have a plan. Now I have a thought process. Who can I get around that I can reveal this plan to in transparency, in vulnerability, that can hold me accountable to this plan? Because most of the time we don't have the self-discipline, myself included, to follow through on the plans that we have. And, negativity breeds negativity. And so if you're in a negative state and all you have is yourself to encourage yourself, it's going to be very hard to get yourself out of that state. You've got to get around an accountability partner that will help bring you out of that state. And oftentimes it's called a mentor. And you need to go and seek a mentor in your life that can move you to the next level. Never forget your body, mind, and spirit. What you intake, you output. What are you intaking? That is so, so critical. But I would tell you, you're not alone. If you're in a slump, just remember the ones who win are the ones who kept going. It's not that they were the smartest, the brightest, had the best plan. They just never quit. You can never lose if you never stop. Just remember that.
Love it. You can get your questions answered here. Write in or call in. Go to remindermedia.com/ask, and we will contact you to see about getting on the show. All right, calling next, we've got Jay calling out of Florida, I believe. Jay, how you doing today? How can we help you?
Good, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
We are doing fantastic.
Better
Jay.
than I deserve.
Yeah, you got to embody the Dave Ramsey, right? Whenever he has a call in, he's like, better than I deserve. You're blessed. Sure. Jay, man, excited to have you on the show. What is the pain point in your business right now, or that lever of growth you're trying to do that we can help you with?
Well, the real estate industry is very interesting.
That's a nice way to say it. Yeah,
it's very, because you want to build trust. You want to you're helping somebody make the largest investment in their life. But it comes down to how can you make the customer know that you're really genuine and trust you to know that like I tell a lot of my customers when I see them, if I'm not gonna buy that house for any reason, I'll let you know what, I'm not sure about this. I'll let you make the decision. Nice. It's yours at the end of the day. I have no place to tell you yes or no, but I can tell you know what, we might, if we're patient, let's see a couple more houses before we make a decision.
I love that, and I'm proud of you for doing that, because if more professionals would do that, industries would have better names. Because you're not commissioned
in every industry. Real estate is very challenging, and the one thing with real estate, sorry guys, my allergies, man. I coach my son's soccer team, so running for an hour on the grass field, the next day I'm miserable. So
you know what you need, Jay? This is a shameless plug for what is it called? The boom boom stick from Shark Tank. They swear by it to help with allergies. It's like you. It's like you stick in that nasal stick, and then all of a sudden it clears all your sinuses. There you go. Maybe they'll sponsor the show for us now.
This show,
exactly.
But anyways, keep going. Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I know. Real estate is it's challenging, and when it comes to people want to trust you, they know that, hey, can I trust this guy? Can I allow myself to give him information about me, finances, things like this? Does he have my best interest in heart?
So you're experiencing that lack of trust in your outreach and stuff, or because
maybe there's a lot of, and in every industry, by the way, because there are a lot of people are there for the wrong reason. Maybe some people are.
Great. But is that happening to you? Is are you expressing to us that, hey guys, I'm struggling to get people to trust me because there's a bad vibe around, real estate or any industry? But
yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you where, because you put a person in front of me, I'm sales in my blood.
Okay.
I can sell you anything you want to.
All right,
I
sell
can
me this
actually
pin,
sell
Jay.
you.
Sell me this pin. I'm just kidding.
You know what? Let me tell you what this pin does. You get somebody to tell you, oh, let me write your phone number. Let me have you write a note or something. And if you say I don't have a pen, it will be like, one,
That what is that?
not
Wolf of Wall
professional.
Street. It's like, sell me this
Two,
pin. It's like, hey,
you're gonna
can you sign this check real quick? Well, I don't have a pin. Sold.
here we go. And then you wanna give him like a 10 cents pen also that doesn't write, also embarrassing. So you want to invest in like a $2 pen kind of thing, you know?
So where are you struggling the most with building the trust? So if they're in front of you, you got it. You're a stone cold closer. Is it in
Exactly.
Is it in the leads? Like
Yeah,
the lead,
where
like
is it?
they're just
And the leads,
hesitant
yes.
to
And
respond?
a lot of times when we get leads and it's we have to do the cold calling and talk to customers and say, hey, my name is Jay. I'm a real estate agent. I have your information that you're interested in a property, whether buying or selling. A lot of times they're like, I'm not interested right now. They hang out.
Okay.
I'm not able to get past that stage. Why?
Mm.
Because the amount of spam calls these days is enormous. I get 20 spam calls a day from different here and there. And I run another business. So I get spam calls telling me, you're going to a trade show. You haven't booked your hotel room. I was like, how do you know if I booked it or not? You know? You get all these calls that they say, hello, Jay, I'm calling about your property. Are you willing to sell it? Those people they're not real estate agents. They just, want to buy a $500,000 property for $300,000 cash.
Yep.
To turn
Here's what I would tell you. So I think you're creating a narrative and an excuse for yourself. And it's not to beat you up, man. It's just to call what I'm hearing. You're creating a narrative and excuse for yourself that's not true. People aren't telling you no because the amount of spam calls they get every day. And the reason why I know this to be true is because I work with agents all over the nation, and even our own team, Acre Brothers Realty, we do hundreds of calls a day. We have ISAs on the team. We're not experiencing that. We're not experiencing the lack of trust because of the spam. What it is, I think, is more of a presentation issue, like a scripting issue. What I heard you just do, now I know you're just kind of laying out a little bit of description of it, but you led with a yes or no question, and you led with an assumptive based, hey, it's like you walk into the retail store and the person says, can I help you find something? And the immediate answer is no, even though that person walked into the retail store. And it's because, Chris Voss has this on Never Split the Difference. If you go read that book, he talks about you want to, try to ask the right questions that get people to respond in natural ways. So he is big on like everybody's more conditioned to say no than they are say yes. So like when you go for an appointment, instead of, going for the appointment with the yes answer, you go for the appointment of, would you be opposed to meeting on Saturday at 11? No. And it's like, no. Okay, perfect. I got you down for Saturday at 11 because you said yes by saying no. So here's what I would challenge you is I would look at your scripting, and we can send you the script that we use. Are you doing circle prospecting? Is that a lot of what you're doing?
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm doing a lot of the leads that I get from the media magazine that I have with you.
Let me send you the script that we're doing, which is way more what I would call it's like relationship and value based, where it's like, hey, we don't need to do a deal with this person or not, but we're all calling to see if they would be curious. We have a lot of people that are interested in their area. And, if you received a cash offer on your house, would you be opposed to taking a look at it? If you received if you received a cash offer on your house today, would you be opposed to taking a look at that? And most people would be like, no. Yeah. I mean, I guess, what is it? And it was like, well, what would you take for your house? Like what would the price be that you want? And you'd be surprised. Some people in that moment, Jay, will actually tell you what they want for the house, but most of them will not. Most of them will go, well, what's the offer? And then you go to, well, Zillow has your range around, 700 to 1,000 to, 800,000. Is that what you would be expecting? Is that what you'd be thinking? And you quote a range based upon Zillow. But here's what you know immediately as you're calling through that neighborhood for circle prospecting. You immediately are identifying the people who are engaging you about wondering what the cash offer is on their house or what they would get for their house. Okay, well, they're not totally settled in their dream home because there is some interest, right, to know if there's an offer. And we are finding, I mean, I think we've closed 26 deals this year alone in our team, just doing that circle prospecting pitch. We have a whole podcast on this for everybody listening. And I don't know if Jay, if you've heard this one or not, with Steven and Cody from our team, where we break down where we buy the leads from, how we do the pitch, how we do go out there to the house and give the 3 different offers to them. So it's our circle prospecting podcast. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll find it. But anyways, to get back to your original thing is, it's not that you're wrong. There are a lot of spam calls. There are a lot of bad real estate agents that, create mistrust. But I would challenge you, go, man, no, you're a stone cold closer. You're making a narrative in your mind that's not true because your scripting is wrong. Like, you're approaching the script out of the gate, trying to gain interest right away without offering enough value or lowering their guard with the reason for your call. Let us send you the script that we have, and I think it will help you tremendously from that end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm when it comes to sales and conversation, I'm good. I just have to find a way to have them engage.
It's the engagement where you're struggling.
Questions before they say no.
Exactly. It's like on our Facebook leads, we don't call people, to give people another example. Like, we generate Facebook leads, and we do this for clients too, but with Acre Brothers, we generate thousands of leads, right? Mm-hmm. And when the lead comes in, when we call them, I don't call them up and say, hey, Jay, I got your request on Facebook for the list of homes. I don't say that. You know why? Because the immediate reaction is, I didn't request anything.
Don't try to sell me.
Yeah, right. And that's what most people do. Most people call and they're immediately, but it's like walking into the retail store. No, I'm not looking for anything, because they feel immense pressure. So we call up and it's like a pattern interrupt, and we'll go, Jay, we saw that you were looking for homes, and we just wanted to see if you found what you were looking for. So the question is about, were you looking or were you not looking? Not about, you downloaded a list of homes. Is that true or not? Because you're going to say no to downloading the list of homes. You're going to say no to the ebook, the information you downloaded. But if I catch you in the pattern interrupt to say, hey, I saw you were looking at homes, I just want to see if you found what you were looking for, they immediately now just intuitively are like, no or yes. And if they say, no, I haven't found what I'm looking for, what do I know immediately? Well, they're looking for homes. Right. Yeah. So it's like the way you craft your messaging matters tremendously to get engagement. It's like one of the tactics which we're
trying to get them talking, right?
Yes.
That's how you get into discovery. That's how you can actually help them.
Yeah. And for every situation, it's going to be a little nuanced. So like Reminder Media sales team who's calling like agents like yourself, Jay, like a lot of times we'll go, hey, Jay, like we'll open up the call. Now I'm revealing all the secrets, going, hey, hey, Jay. And Jay go, yeah. This is Jay. Right. Who's this? And we do that instead of going, hey, Jay, this is Luke Acre. I'm calling from Reminder Media. Because immediately if I do that, what do you know? I'm a sales guy. I don't want to talk to him. Bang, you bang on me. But if I'm like, hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, who is this? And now your brain's trying to go a million miles an hour to try to figure out who this is. And I didn't earn much, right? I just earned maybe 3 more seconds than I would have had if I come in and say, this is Luke Acre, Reminder Media, right out of the gate. So there's like ways you can craft messaging where you can earn the next 3 seconds or second, because the problem in sales is nobody wants to be sold. So to be a great salesman, it has to be about value, not selling. So if I tell my team all the time, I try to get in their brains, guys, if you just wake up today and just try to help people and not worry about the sale, and you don't worry about the rejection because you're already at 0. Jay's not working with me, right? So I can't lose. I only stay the same. He either works with me and I go positive, or I net the same, because he doesn't tell me no. He was already a no. So it's like trying to get your brain in your heart into a posture where it's like, I'm just trying to help people, which is what you're talking about, which is why I love what you're saying about the mistrust. I'm just trying to help people. You don't have to buy from me. You don't have to use me, but I have value that I can bring to the table, and I'm passionate about helping people in this business, and I just want to earn that chance. So I want to get you the scripts and everything like that, but it's such a good question.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep. Well, it would definitely help, and I'll change the wording.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's in the wording, because I feel like you are a great engager and salesperson, but I think you're shooting yourself in the foot how you're opening you're basically going, I'm a salesman. Are you interested in talking to me right away? Instead of,
instead of opening a conversation like
Yes.
a person. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where most people, like when they're calling, that's where everybody starts, because you don't know what else to do, and
Right.
so I would encourage you
Okay.
also go on YouTube, and there's a lot of great live cold calling things for, like, Ricky Caruth is a great one. Shout out to Ricky. We've had him on the show. I don't know if you know Ricky at all, but he puts out great content around circle prospecting and scripting, and he does live calls, or has done them. I don't know the last time he did it, but he's done live calls and all that stuff. So I would check out Ricky Caruth on
For
YouTube too.
sure.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you,
Well,
Jay.
Yeah.
I look forward to get your script.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
All right.
having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And next time we'll see each other, I'm gonna be like, hey, we just closed.
Let's
20
do it.
deals.
Yeah.
Let's
Appreciate
do
it,
it.
Jay. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
man.
Jay. Good luck.
Thank you guys. Thank
All
you.
right, bye.
What a
It's
great guy. Love his personality. Awesome.
Personality. Yeah, if you meet that guy,
Yeah,
you're
amazing.
going to work with him.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny sitting there thinking about it. So much of, you mentioned Ricky Caruth. It's so much in the voice. Like Ricky, like Steven has, I don't know if he got it from Ricky Caruth.
He might have,
just
yeah.
picked it up, but like the inflection is so, like, they're always like on the up with their inflection.
Yeah.
So you're always kind of brought along.
It's
to the
that next
conversation.
intrigue. It's that
Yeah,
curiosity.
absolutely.
It's that, this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's always prefacing where you're going in the mind of the prospect, so they feel at ease and they want to know what that next second is.
Yeah, awesome. You can get your questions answered live here on the show, remindermedia.com/ask. And then also make sure to check out our YouTube video, youtube.com/remindermedia. You can search for that, circle prospecting. We'll include it here in the show notes as well, but you can check out that video there. Next up, we have Daryl. Daryl calling in, I believe, here from Arizona. Daryl, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, man. Thanks for calling in. What can we help you with?
Yes. Basically, I was checking out your podcast on Instagram, and
Nice.
I remember I was checking it out, and it was like, if you have business questions, just drop them in the chat. And
Hey, it worked.
There we go. Nice.
yeah,
Love it, man. Well, what's
That's
your
awesome, Daryl.
business, and what's the pain point? Like, what can we help you with?
So essentially, I am an online transformation coach, transformation specialist. So what that is I do more of the mindset coaching and accountability coaching. And my
Okay.
niche, I work with moms.
Wow. Okay. So what is the pain point in the business that's keeping you from the next level, or that you're trying to figure out?
Essentially, I'm gaining a lot of traction on TikTok. I'm not
Nice.
really on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is the one I feel most comfortable with, but I will transition into Facebook and Instagram. But a lot of people are interested in fitness, moms and stuff. It's the money and the lack of like confidence within themselves.
So are you trying to figure out how to get that message in front of the moms that you're trying to get into your coaching programs and stuff like that? Is that really the...
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a little feel for how big the business is? Like, how many clients do you have right now? How long ago did you start the business?
I started 2022-ish.
Okay.
I have a few transformations underneath my belt, and I had to take a year off because of life stuff. But right
Sure.
now, I'm training 3 moms right now.
3 months. Awesome, man. Okay. Awesome. And how many can you handle to train? Like, how many new clients do you want to bring on board?
Oh, virtually, I can handle as many as, because I
Okay.
can
So
just
you
do
don't have a
one visit.
capacity limit. Okay.
No. No.
So where did your current 3 clients come from?
All TikTok.
All
Oh,
TikTok.
wow.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Well,
gonna
you
have to
figured
check
out the
your TikTok.
formula.
Yeah.
How do you do that again? So are you having trouble reaching people, or are you having trouble actually engaging with you? Like,
No.
you got 3
So-
clients from TikTok. How did you get those 3 clients?
Yeah, so basically I go live and I post a ton of content, and I actually, when I co-host, so we do battles. When you go live, you stream with other creators, and I
Okay.
just post workouts, and I do push-ups and squats and all kind of crazy workouts, and they love it, and then they just, hey, can you train me? So
Love that.
Yeah.
So here's where my brain goes for you then, because it seems like, okay, your content is good because it's generating some clients. So no brainer, you already know, got to get that content up on Instagram as well. Get it up on Facebook. You don't even have to do unique. You can do the same content, just don't carry over the logos to Instagram, right? So if you post up on TikTok, don't repost that just on Instagram with the TikTok logos and stuff. You will be compressed or whatever in the algorithm. But put that content on there. But to me, the most natural thing that I think you need is what I would call as a lead magnet, something that's going to be free that you give to your audience that they can download. And in exchange for downloading that free piece of content, they are giving you their phone number and their email, or just their email. Probably for you, you might want to just go email because you're probably not going to be calling these people, but you might. And the idea here is, let's think about it. It's like maybe you have a 10-day challenge, a 30-day challenge, and you could tell people what they should eat nutrition wise, what their exercise should be. And you have to come up with the marketing of what your ideal mom client wants. Is it to lose 10 pounds? Is it to feel more confident about who they are and their body? Is it like, what is it in this fitness transformation that the moms want? That is your value prop. And we were sharing with a caller in the real estate business a little earlier, a similar concept of going to ChatGPT and utilize ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever your AI of choice is. Go, Daryl, to ChatGPT and tell it who your ideal client is. I work with moms. I do transformational coaching, mainly geared towards fitness. Here's what I offer. Here's who I'm trying to work with. And then go, please give me 3 different value props that would resonate with these moms. And it will spell out for you those value props. Then you could say, I want to put together a 30-day fitness challenge for these moms. That's a free downloadable, free PDF. You and your expertise tell the AI what the mom should do over 30 days. And then go, please create this into an ebook that can be downloaded, a PDF format, and it will create for you the ebook of your 30-day fitness challenge to lose whatever weight. Now, I'm making up 30 days. You know the industry. I don't. Maybe it needs to be 60, maybe, but you got to get a free item of value that then creates leads coming in, emails coming in, so you can drip on those emails with more of your content and lead them to conversion pages to buy your coaching. So I'll give you the example like we often see in the real estate business. A lead magnet might be, want to know what your home's worth. So the real estate agent has the ability to give you a professional CMA, a comparative market analysis of what your home is worth right now, Daryl. In exchange for you putting in your address and your email address, I'll send you what your home's worth in today's market. So that's like a lead magnet. I can put that out on the web, on my social. Hey guys, if you ever want to know what your home's worth, I just sold a home last week for $500,000. A lot of people are asking me what their home's worth. If you want to know, just fill out your address at this page and I'll give you a free comparative market analysis. That's a lead magnet. You need that for the fitness transformational coaching industry to get these leads coming in. And you already have the content. You just, when you now start doing your same content, just add to your content, whatever you do, the push-ups, all that stuff, and go, hey guys, and if you ever want to know, I have a free 30-day guide to help you lose 10 pounds in 30 days. You can download it here, and boom, you just plug it in your content constantly. And people will go and they get it for free for putting in their email address.
Okay, so I have a lead magnet. I just never done the funnel thing. I never done it.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have the lead magnet, you just need to start. Do you have a landing page that hosts the lead magnet?
No. So
okay.
That's what
so that's what you need. You need so there's a lot of good companies out there.
Lead Pages is a good one that you could check out.
ClickFunnels. They're a little more expensive, but ClickFunnels can help you do funnels pretty easily. Those are 2 good companies that you could check out.
What was the first one?
Lead Pages. They offer a lot of different templates.
I've heard of them.
Pretty affordable, and you can connect that to, if you have like a back-end CRM, usually it'll connect to that, or you can use like Zapier.
Yeah. Okay, I've heard of that.
Because your main goal in business, Daryl, is to build a brand with your ideal target audience. So the first step for every business is, who is my ideal target audience and how do I get that list? Like, how do I get the list of the people that need my service, my product, so I can I can market to them. I can build a brand to them because I can market to them through social, through email, through text, through phone call, through face-to-face events. I mean, there's a myriad of ways to market, but the real goal of every business is, how do I get the list? How do I get the list of the ideal target audience? For you, you have to almost do the marketing to start generating the list, if that makes sense. It's like you're trying to reach moms, unless you can find a place to go get a list of all the moms, which you might be able to do. But you need to develop that list, and that comes to offering items of value like a lead magnet.
Okay.
Yep. But make sure
Awesome.
your lead magnet is geared specifically towards your unique persona that you're trying to attract. Does that make sense? So if you're really specialized in moms, don't make your lead magnet apply to everybody for 30 days of fitness.
Oh, yeah.
You need,
Yeah.
you need to make your lead magnet targeted directly to moms.
Right.
Awesome. Any other questions on that? Makes sense. You'll execute on getting lead pages and get that lead magnet going.
No more questions about that. What is the number one thing? Well, the content. So, but my thing is, I post a lot of content, but in business, I know it's a little different. So, how can I post content that actually leads to conversions, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Show you're working with 3 moms now. Have you documented their journey? Have you looked at the results, the success that they've gotten?
Not yet. I'm still
Great
working on
point.
that.
Okay. Really focus on telling those transformational stories. So the things that will get you engagement or will get people to, like virality versus like actual, people that you want to target. Like you get like the randoms liking your stuff versus people that are actually engaging and reaching out and talking to you and asking you. Those transformational stories, they're the things that are going to get that level of attention and that level of authentic conversations that will attract a tribe to follow you. So make sure that, like, as you're working with these people, you might not have that yet, but make sure that you are documenting where they started, documenting the journey that they're on, and then ultimately the success that they've had. And so you can show those before and after stories and share those on your social media and within your content and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Another. Go ahead. Like a case study. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Another tactic in social that you can try to do, especially on like Instagram and stuff like that, is the concept of like polls and the questions. So you could, basically do content, and in your story, you can get people to ask you questions. You can get people to respond to polls. So you can poll your audience on like, who's at the, their ideal fitness place, who needs help in their fitness, things like that, that would trigger for you people who are watching your content who need help. But you've got to give them ways to engage and respond by giving them a poll to respond to. And now all of a sudden, out of the hundreds of people that watch that story, the 5 that are really engaged because they responded to a poll or to a question that you asked, or they asked you a question on fitness. So it's like taking your content and then layering over it on your stories and stuff like that, polls and stuff like that, so people can respond.
Okay. I love it.
Awesome.
No,
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
it for the most part.
Yeah.
Thanks for
now
calling
you
in,
got to
Daryl.
go execute, Daryl.
Yeah.
That's the key, man. That's the key, my man. You already got 3 clients, which is impressive, from TikTok, which is impressive.
Yeah. That's super hard, believe it or not.
Trust me, it is. We've been in the industry a long time. It is very difficult to get clients organically
leads.
through, just a social media platform.
Yeah.
Focus on building your email list. Focus on doing content to get your email list going. And Josh made such a good point of sharing the stories of transformation that will bring people into your funnel to want to work with you because it's proof for them. But yeah, man, go execute. That's the difference maker.
Good luck.
All right. Quick question. So so most people give me their phone numbers, which I don't have. I don't have an issue. So, would like newsletters and stuff like that be beneficial for them if they give me their email?
Yeah, if they give you their email, then the goal would be you drip on them now.
Value.
Yeah,
just
drip on
shower
them.
them with value. Give
In
them
fact,
all of the advice for free. Like, just
we will, Daryl, to help you out, man. I have a digital magazine called Start Healthy. It's all about healthy living, fitness. It would be your magazine branded to you. I'll give you 90 days of that for free. So you can drip on. You show me, you get the lead page set up, the landing page. I'll give you 90 days free of our digital magazine that you can drip on people. It will be a monthly email newsletter going out for you, your own custom magazine that features fitness content, health content you can customize, and it's just value driven.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
well, lead page. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the lead page up. That's my only requirement is you get the lead page up. And then once you start collecting, I'll give you the magazine for free for 90 days. So
Okay.
we normally charge $80 a month, but Daryl, I want to see you succeed and, crush it. So let's do that.
I got you.
Awesome.
All right.
thank you so much for calling. Good luck out there. We'll
All right.
talk soon.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thanks, brother.
Bye now.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Love it.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. I mean, and he's doing good content if he's gotten three clients.
That was
from it.
like, dude, you've gotten 3.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just do more of that.
Yeah.
But it is the hardest thing is like, I try to boil it down for people to the simplicity that I think so many people overlook. It's about the list.
Yeah.
It's about the
It's
list.
about the list. It's about going outside the platform also.
Yes.
The more that you can stay in front of people outside of that original platform that they got you in on, it's not going to be, not every client's going to be, oh, I saw you on TikTok. Great. I'll work with you. It's let me get that list.
Because a certain amount of the list will convert.
Yeah.
And so the goal is to grow the list and the goal is to stay in front of the list. And the list needs to be refined. It needs to be your ideal target audience. And your goal in marketing is to try to make sure the right people are getting onto that list and the wrong people are getting off. But that is the key. If you're going to start a business right now in an industry like this, service-based, whether it's financial professional, real estate agent, a fitness guru like him, you have to define who's my ideal target audience and how do I get that list? How do I get in front of them?
It's the only thing that you'll own.
Yes.
Is that list. Everything else is fleeting. Facebook owns
Yeah,
that
because you're
piece,
not
Google
building a
owns that
product.
piece.
You're not building a platform or something like that.
We did okay. We did okay, the two of us.
Yeah, we don't need Stephen and Cody. Yeah. Comment in if you think
Get
we
outta
need them.
here.
No.
That'll be our poll on Stay Paid Podcast to get some engagement. All right. Thank you so much for listening. You can dive deeper into this episode. I know we mentioned a lot of links and resources, so we're going to collect all those, get them into the show notes of this episode, wherever you're listening to it. You can also get it at staypaidpodcast.com. And if you liked this episode, do us a favor, head on over to youtube.com/remindermedia. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. And the best way to help out the show is to simply share this episode with somebody that you know. If you want to get hold of me or Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com and follow us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Josh Dyke.
Guys, I'm Luke Acree. Man, what a great show. So many good tips, I think, if I do say so myself. But remember, none of them matter if you don't execute. I just realized I was literally complimenting myself there mid-sentence. Well,
Action
now you know
item,
my true
build the list.
personality. Yeah, exactly. The difference between top producers and mediocre producers is top producers take action. So if you heard something today that resonated with you that you know you need to do, don't just sit on it. Take action on that today.